Hey, Jets fans, hope you're doing well. So, we are less than 2 weeks away. We're a week and a half away from the draft, right? So, right around the corner. Last time I did my mock draft for the Jets and the Giants with the picks remaining as is, today I'm going to do my 2024 New York Jets mock draft with trades included. Okay. I'm going to do my mock draft for the Giants because there are some Giants fans that have been asking for it. So, I'm going to do that in a separate video, but also this week. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, you happen to be a fan of either team, especially the Jets, make sure you subscribe, okay? And hit the notifications as well, especially now that we get closer to the draft. Every piece of news that comes in that's of relevance, you're going to get it here. So, and I thank you so much for it. I really do. It means well. So now let's get into this. Take a look at, by the way, if you haven't seen my mock draft with the picks as is, take a look at that and you'll see how it differs. There's some consistent pieces, but not many. Okay, this kind of gives him a little bit of a more creative twist to that, a more applicable, a more way that they could be kind of aggressive, but at the same time methodical and smart. So, but I'd love to know what your thoughts are either way. So leave me a little up the comments. Give me your feedback. Okay. Now, first move, first pick, they make a trade. The Jets I have trading down with the Jacksonville Jaguars and moving to 17 and picking an offensive lineman. This is J.C. Latham, offensive tackle from University of Alabama, Crimson Tide. Okay, and when they stayed, I just don't think that the guys that they really want are going to be available in terms of playmakers. Now, last time I put out, a potential of picking Brock Bowers at 10, but I don't know if they're going to go. I mean, I think they should, but I don't know if they're going to go pick a tight end at 10. My guess is they'd like to pick a wide receiver, but I'm not sure if Roma Dunze or some of these Malik Neighbors are going to be available. So I just don't know. So this allows them to be safe and also acquire a second round pick, which they don't currently have. Okay, so they move down to 17. They pick up the second round pick, which is the 48th pick overall in the draft. Okay. And the Jacksonville Jaguars move up to 10. The Jets move down to 17. And I can see Latham being available. I really can. So now with the second round pick, which is from the Jacksonville Jaguars, they pick a wide receiver. Xavier Legette. Okay. Wide receiver from South Carolina. Want a playmaker. And again, remember, they've added Mike Williams already in free agency. They have Garrett Wilson. This gives them another playmaker on the offensive side that if as long as Aaron Rodgers is healthy, he can maximize his skill set. Just like if Brock Bowers was here, he could become a star tight end as well with a healthy Aaron Rodgers. But I think the offensive line, even though they've spent quite a bit on the line, defensive and offensive, a lot of these guys are on one-year deals and they're older. So getting a building block there, J.C. Latham, makes a lot of sense. So, and then adding a wide receiver in the second round and a pick they didn't have before makes a lot of sense too. Now, I do think in the third round, they're going to make a play for a safety. I do think they're going to bring in a safety. And this is a guy I brought in my first mock draft, Tyler Nubin from University of Minnesota, a playmaker safety. And the Jets have a tendency to do well when they draft safeties and corners and stuff like that. So adding a weapon in the defensive backfield, and I do think they're going to make a splash or move at the very least for safety and maybe the corner later on in the draft too. But this would be a pretty good day too. Getting a wide receiver and a safety, that'd be a heck of a day two draft for the Jets, as well as getting a big offensive tackle in day one. So could I see them do other things? Yes, but again, they do have to back up their quarterback, right? But their quarterback is 40, and the backup quarterback that they brought in, Tyrod Taylor, is 34. So in day 3, I have them picking a quarterback in day 3. But before the pick, I have them picking. Yep, this is Dwayne Carter, a defensive tackle from Duke, high football IQ, and adding another weapon to the defensive side. Okay, they got the safety, now they got a defensive tackle. And again, some of the guys that they brought in are on one-year deals on the defensive front and the offensive line. So getting another building block here with a high IQ, which kind of molds right into the Jets wanting to build through youth and through the draft and getting players who are intelligent and of high character. This gives them just that. You have Dwayne Carter, he's the 4th pick at 111th pick in the draft, so in the 4th round. But they have a second 4th rounder, and this is a guy that was in my last mock. Okay, this is their developmental quarterback here. Okay, Jordan Travis, quarterback from Florida State University, and again, this guy's a mobile quarterback, and he's much younger than Aaron Rodgers, much younger than Tyrod Taylor, who is mobile, but they need another mobile quarterback. And this guy also has a high football IQ. So being able to take advantage of an older offensive line, okay, and being able to throw to the weapons, also sitting back and developing and learning under Aaron Rodgers and Tyrod Taylor. And this guy could represent a good fit. He would be my 4th round pick, 134 overall. So day 3 starts with a defensive tackle and a quarterback. Pretty good. Pretty good. But now, 5th round, I have them making another trade. Okay, and I have them packaging John Franklin Myers and a 2025 pick, as well as salary, in a trade to get a running back. Yep, to combine with Breece Hall. This is Braylon Allen, running back from Wisconsin, bruising running back, and you're going to a good running back, even as a 3rd round back, 3rd round back or whatnot, as another bruiser to add to the offensive weapon. Is another good piece. Okay, you have a solid offensive line, a robust, experienced offensive line with a couple of Hall of Famers. And the fact is, I don't even think they're done. They may even add another offensive line. They've been talking about David Bakhtiari, who used to be Aaron Rodgers' teammate in Green Bay. Don't be surprised if they get him either early next week or after the draft to add more depth to that offensive line. But this gives them a weapon to use. All right. And if they have protection for the quarterback, you can hand it off to the running back easier. You can throw to your wide receiver easier. You can throw to your tight ends easier. Right. So Braylon Allen's my 5th round pick. Okay. They do trade up in the 5th round to get him. Okay. Now we're moving to the 6th round and adding another offensive lineman. Yes. I've got him taking Mackin Calvez, offensive tackle from Pitt. Another high IQ player with size for the offensive line. You got him and CJ Latham. You have a couple of building blocks here to go with AVT and Joe Tippmann and some of these other guys. And have some replacements for the offensive linemen who are potential Hall of Famers, but they're on 1-year deals. So now you've added 2 linemen here, okay, which would be a valuable add for the Jets. Okay, now we've got the 7th round. They have the 2 final picks in the draft. Mr. Irrelevant and Mr. Irrelevant's sidekick. This is pick 256. Roe Torrance. He's a corner. There goes your corner, your defensive backfield. They go with Sauce and all the other guys they have in the defensive backfield. This is a cornerback from Arizona State University. He's got size, okay, and he's a good coverage guy. So, and he's physical. So adding this type of weaponry, and again, you never know. If you can find value in day 3, that's pretty good. I mean, I'm hoping that they hit in day 1 and day 2, but if you find value in day 3, that's a pretty good find. Okay, so Roe Torrance is my 2nd to last pick in the draft and the final pick in the draft. This is Zion Tupola Fitu. He's an edge rusher from the University of Washington. So again, adding another defensive piece to go with the other edge rusher they've had, and they've also got new guy from the Eagles. Having lost Bryce Huff, they brought in a new guy from the Eagles, and all the other defensive weapons that they've got. This gives them another young developmental piece that they could learn from these other guys and maybe turn into something valuable here. Okay, so that's my mock draft for the Jets with trades. A 1st round trade and a 5th round trade. Okay, and finding value on each day. Let me know what your thoughts are one way or the other. I'll put out my mock draft for the Giants later on this week. I want to know what your thoughts are there as well. Have a good day. I'll see you all next time.